Wahaha! Hey chat, good to see you all. This is going to be a real treat of a stream, I think. To those of you who have been with the channel for a while, I apologize for the delay. We're dipping our toes back in. No, not dipping our toes, diving headfirst back into WarioWare D.I.Y today. Let's do a couple of little hellos before we get going, which is tradition at this point. I see lots of people in chat, lots of familiar names. I see Curb, I see Plied, I see Horrorflix, I see Alia, I see Chalupa Joe, Windoge, hello, good to see you. Tube, White, how you doing? Dallas, Red Shell, Bori, Red, Sylvie, hello. Dallas, hello. Mr. Observador too. Ramon is here. Ah, oh, lots of familiar faces. It's always a treat to see you all in chat. This game, man, it's a very good video game. In the pantheon of good video games, WarioWare D.I.Y is pretty high up there, and I'm looking forward to sharing this with you all today. So let's switch over to our DS. So this is what it looks like with both screens up. What I'm mostly going to be doing is having either the top screen or the bottom screen kind of focused. But for now, let me just give you a kind of overview. In fact, let's have a look at the introductory video. So if we hang out here for a bit, and I'll give a little bit of a context for this. So WarioWare D.I.Y came out on the DS in 2009, as you can see here. It is a unique entry into the WarioWare series because it's the first WarioWare game, and only to date, game that allows you to make your own micro games. So we're going to actually be employed by Wario himself so that we can produce games for him. And I played a full kind of series of this prior to GBG coming out. I never played it back in the day. Well, I played a very little bit of it back in the day, and my series was my main introduction to WarioWare D.I.Y. I kind of slept on it back in the day. Anyway, here's the intro video. Diamond City, Krieger Labs. Hey Windoge, I'm going to time you out briefly. Please do not spam when you come back from your timeout. Okay, so it was a terrible dream that Krieger just had. But after the terrible dream, Krieger created the Supermatic 21. There's Krieger's granddaughter, I believe, in the background, Penny, and here's Wario.
Hey, fix my TV. Or trade me for one of those things.
Those are not televisions.
Eh?
Graphics, AI, music, game. Everyone knows those are the three components of game.
These might just be the ticket to my riches.
Sorry, that was a terrible Wario. So there we go. That's our little intro to WarioWare D.I.Y. Let us begin. So I think I'm going to follow along in the structure of my old WarioWare D.I.Y. streams. We're gonna get started today with a little warm-up with the inbuilt games. So, let me remind myself. We go to the D.I.Y. shop. And we go to games here. Let me switch over to... Well, we'll leave it like this for now. We go to the game blender. So, although the primary thing of this is making your own games and making your own comics and making your own music, there are some classic pre-made games here. We've got Mona's, Jimmy T's, Ashley's, Orbulon's, and 9 Volts games here. Let's get started with Mona's. I like doing these first because it gets me into the flow of things. we can warm up, we can get my blood pumping, so we're ready to get creative. So here we go. Switching over to the bottom screen, that's where most of the action happens. Alright, so the input is all touch-based. Curb says, if you have a DS capture card, then why can't you stream Rhythm Heaven? This is being emulated. I have the cartridge, but sadly I do not have a DS capture card. Okay, notice, so we're going to go left. The little arrow was pointing left there. So for people who have never played any WarioWare, it's all based around micro games which are very wacky and fast-paced, and it's all about acting quickly with simple controls. So here, we need to keep the bow up on her hair. Breaking the walls. And usually each character has their games loosely themed around a particular theme or idea. Although that's less of a thing in D.I.Y, because they're more ideas for what kind of games you could make. Man, this one's so hard in D.I.Y. Okay, let's unwrinkle the shirt and smell the roses. Well, not roses, but you get what I mean. Speed up! This is another nemesis of mine. All of the memories are flooding back now, of which ones are hard. Squirt! Missed it. So normally what happens with WarioWare as well is I have a first run which is terrible, I have a second run which is quite a bit better, and then it all peters out from there. But usually by that point, we're ready to get into the meat of the stream. Ramona says, Mona is cute. I agree! All the characters, I think, in WarioWare are very cute. Ah, too slow. Okay, so that's the last... Oh no, we got one more life because we completed the boss stage successfully. Smiling. There we go. Ooh. Chat, how was your day today? We got started very, promptly, I think, today. Yeah, 14. We can see my highest score ever is not very good. I think I did a little bit better on some of the others. Mona's is surprisingly difficult. Let's quit out of this one and try a different one here. Oh, okay. Well, let's do Jimmy T's, because Jimmy T's music in WarioWare D.I.Y. is so good. It's so fitting. I love it. I hope everyone will be singing along at home. Seeing lots of good days in the chat. That's nice to hear. Alright. Are you ready? Oh, I hope you're feeling better soon, Ramona. I always just spam on that one. Ooh, ooh. Hey, it's Grandpa! Nice training, Grandpa. Left! Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Curb. I hope you can have some fun together with us today. You know it. Ah, go left. Ah, too slow. Break the ice. We've got to make room for the figure skater here. On the pistol. Yeah, Speedy, look at the other runner. We were on the mark there. Teamwork. Don't block it. Yeah. Hey Dawson, how are you? Alright. This is feeling like a better run than Mona's so far. We're up to 11. Jump! Jump! Oof. So for everybody who's just tuned in, this is WarioWare D.I.Y. And we're playing through the inbuilt games to begin with, but after this we'll be looking at some of the creations we made together with viewers in the past, and after that we will create our own new game. Oh, this is bad. Unlikely, I think, here. Oh! Trick shot. Kerbask, what's your impressions of Get It Together? So I talked about this a little bit on the stream and a little bit on the Discord after the fact. Generally, it looks and sounds incredible. I think I'm so glad to see what they've done with WarioWare. Oh, come on. On the Switch, seeing it on the big screen is amazing. I'm still not convinced by the new gimmick. I don't know whether it's just because I'm kind of like a bit of a WarioWare boomer. But I think there is a conflict between the wackiness of the games and the randomness of the different characters. Or not randomness, but the kind of complexities of the different characters. Whereas in classic WarioWare, the games are incredibly wacky, but the input method is very simple. And maybe it's just because it's taking me a little bit of time to get used to the control methods, the input methods of the different characters and Get It Together. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was in love with the control. Woo! Okay, whew, that was close. Oddolly says, I like the fact you can play as characters and they have different movesets. Yeah, I agree. I'm glad they did something different with WarioWare this time. I think it's very exciting that they're trying to mix up the formula. Yes, because we've had a lot of WarioWare games. Man, oh, I knew that wasn't... Are they going to give me that? No, okay, fair enough. Here we go. Let's get to 30. Ramona says, are the controls usually very intuitive? Well, for WarioWare D.I.Y, it's all touchscreen based. For the Game Boy Advance one, it was all twisting based. It was like tilting the Game Boy to input. The DS one, WarioWare Touched, had a mixture of touch controls and like mic input stuff you could blow on the screen. They're normally very simple inputs. And once you know what those inputs it expects are, you can usually handle even the weirdest microgames. Alright, we're really flying here. So Jimmy's are all themed around sports because he's a fitness fanatic. And as you progress through each stage, the music usually speeds up and the microgames get faster and your reflexes have to be quicker. Hey Monkey Animations. Oh yes, smooth moves on the Wii used motion controls. That's right, Oddolly. Here we go. Ah, that one's my nemesis on Jimmy's apparently. 38, not bad. I think I've done better than that before on Jimmy T. Oh no, that's my highest score. Nice. Okay. Yeah, thanks Red Shell. I was doing pretty alright on that one. Okay, so, folks, prepare yourself, because what we're going to do now is we're going to dive into some of the DIY games that I made previously on stream along with chat. Chat was a huge help in making these games, so let's hang out together and experience the inner workings of chat's minds here while we play our DIY creations. Hey Manx Ninja Pig, great to see you. How you doing? Always wonderful to see you in chat. Here we go, everyone. So these were all created by ourselves with chat's input. We might have to go into some of the lore here because it's pretty intense. So here's my GBG one I made actually for the GBG in DIY video. That's Mario doing some vehicular manslaughter. Okay, we gotta make this this Wario face. I wasn't paying that much attention. Okay, it was that one. Whew. Okay, what's Wario gonna tell us?
Can you keep a secret?
Yes. Wario ate Toad! So we made the artwork here, we made the interactions, and we made the music very often as well. You can create every aspect of these microgames. Speed up! There we go. We got person. Oh yes, I forgot about these weird minion rabbits. Alexi says, I want to help Dom make a GBG game. You certainly will. Or sorry, a DIY game. You certainly will. Epic Boy says, why did Wario eat Toad? Who knows? We can't question Wario's actions. Ramona says, wait, they put Spider-Man in a Nintendo game. No, Ramona, we did. We made Spider-Man. This is my personal fave, I'll be honest. Link playing baseball, only in WarioWare DIY. Get mopping. Gasolina. Oh, I forgot about E.T. Man, this is a real blast from the past. This one. Yeah, that one's a really tough one. Alright, it's getting pretty hot in here. At the beach. Monkey Animation says, these are glorious. We made so many creations over the series of those streams. We haven't seen a duplicate yet. Oh, another one of my faves. Oh, this dude. I completely forgot about this dude. Yeah, Birth of Lario here. Boom! Big high kick. My first WarioWare DIY game? I'd actually forgotten how to do that one. No! There we go. Some people might recognize that from the Discord. Thank you, Little Nugget. Little Nugget says, these are amazing microgames. Oh! Yes, I forgot you have to select the pickaxe on that one. Gotta break Jeff out of jail. Whew, just in time. Oh, it was just slightly out of frame. That one was a bit rough. Daigo says, is that monstrosity? Oh man, I forgot about this one. Aliyah says, are you gonna make some new microgames? Yes, definitely. That one's a weird one. Ooh, just. Okay, we're starting to see some duplicates now. I think we made it through the full set. Speed up! Oh, look at that snotty nose. This? Okay, cool. There are some that we haven't seen, though. Hey, Reg, how you doing? Oh, man! Oh, man! Oh, that one was really tough. Okay. Alright. 39, my high score. Look at this. Taking a break apparently is all I needed to beat all my previous bests. Epic Boy says, which one is better, GBG or DIY? I think they're incomparable because DIY is a very DIY is a very focused thing. It's just about making 2D micro games, less than 5 seconds long usually, whereas GBG is about making all kinds of games in all different sizes. So there are things that you'll see in DIY which are sadly missing from GBG, but that's to do with the kind of focus that these games have. So it's a trade-off at all times, I think. We'll quickly poke our heads in, because I want to show all the different aspects of this before we dive in with the creation. I'm going to show you some of the music that we've made. There is a fully fledged music sequencer here. So where's our... Huh? Where's our Lario theme? Well, anyway, we'll come back to that. We'll look in our comics section. So we made a couple of comics. We made far more games than we did comics, but there is a comic book creator here. And I'm going to show you a couple of these. In fact, we'll look at them all, because they're only 4-panel comics. This first one is called
Lario Rising on a dark night in Wario's lab.
So this was, we wanted to flesh out the stories of some of our characters that we created here in WarioWare DIY. A lot of the characters that you've seen appear in like the Discord as emotes come originally from the DIY streams. So this one is all about Lario, and it's Lario's origin story. It's a dark night, rain is pouring down, there's lightning. Inside Wario's lab, you can see Mario on the giant kind of computer screen here. Maybe he's doing like a FaceTime call. There is a silhouetted figure in the test tube. Bubbles popping all around. Sparks of electric. Some garlic on the floor. A loud thud. Wario and Mario shocked by what they've heard. Lario has burst forth from the test tube and has been unleashed on the world. That's right. So in the comic book creator, you've only got black and white and shading, and you've only got 4 panels. So it forces you to be as creative as possible within those 4 panels. Next up we have Stunker is God. This is the elephant character that you may have seen. I guess, no, there isn't a Stunker emote, is there? I love Stunker. Stunker is great. So Stunker actually came from just the cosmos itself. The matter that makes up the universe. So we see here a spiral galaxy. Ramona says Lario's birth is similar to the tyrant in Resident Evil. Yes. Then, from the galaxy, we see a bright pair of eyes and a wide smile. And oh yes, I'd forgotten. Okay, so Stunker like gathered energy, I guess, from like conflict in the galaxy. This was a wild one, I'll be honest, chat. That's in fact Lario there, fighting somebody. And then Stunker took the form, after many years, of an elephant out on the Saharas. Stunker is one of my favorite characters we created. She's very fun. And our last comic book, this one's my favorite for sure. It's called Sponge Birth. Wario's ego, and bad luck equal the sponge. All right, there's a very happy SpongeBob just going for a little walk. When, bam, Wario, in all of his villainy, hits SpongeBob on the back of the head. But what's this in the distance? Look. SpongeBob with his helmet smashed off begins to dehydrate on the ground as Wario flees the scene of the crime. And look, it's an asteroid coming in from space. And the asteroid the asteroid is full of some kind of alien symbiote that took over the dehydrated sponge to create the sponge, one of the greatest evils on the planet. There we go. That's all of our comics. The comics are a lot of fun to make, but they actually take a very long time. Oh my goodness, White! Thank you very much for the £2 super chat that says, Talario, Stunker, and the Sponge. I'm loving this. White, thank you very, very much for your support of the channel, and I'm so glad that we're back hanging out in D.I.Y, because I have a lot of fond memories. Okay, so this is our comic book section. We'll look at some of the pre-made ones later, because there's some really, really great ones. But let's get started with our first creation for the day. I don't know how many games we'll make today, but if people enjoy this, we can roll this into our schedule on a more regular basis. So to make a game, you head into the Super Maker-Matic 21. It's worth mentioning there's a bunch of like tutorials and challenges, much like D.I.Y. Sorry, GBG. I'm gonna get my initialism mixed up here a little bit. Yeah, there's challenges and tutorials, but we're gonna dive right in, and I'm gonna see how much I can actually remember from D.I.Y, because it uses quite a different kind of language to GBG, and you'll see. So let's make a game in the empty slot 1, and for now we're just gonna call it game. We normally name these at the end. And we're going to go for a normal length. Long games, this is something you can change later, but long games are normally more complex games. Normal games will be the meat of this. Okay, alright. Right, so I think I would love to make a Mousey game to begin with. And I want to kind of I want to do as many as we can today, but you'll see these can take time the more complex they get. So we're going to start off simple, just to give everybody a feel for how D.I.Y works, and then we can build up from there. So I think we'll make a Mousey game, and I reckon what we'll do is, as Mousey is wont to do, there's cheese, and Mousey wants to eat that cheese. So we're going to make Mousey's cheese feast as our beginner game here. So I usually do a background a little bit later, but first of all we need a cheese. So let's call this cheese. We can choose what size of art asset we want. I'm thinking we'll go for a 9.1 here. And we'll call this cheese. You'll see why we name this twice a little bit later. Okay, so this is our texture editor, quote unquote. This is the closest equivalent to the texture node on in GBG. But it has a ton of very, very cool features. So, to begin with, as you saw, we can select the size of our palette, and we can choose all of our different colors here, including these sort of dithered ones. So if I draw down here, you can see it'll automatically give me this dithered color. So although the selection of colors is a lot less than in GBG, these kind of double up the number of colors that you have. Outside of that, we can have ones that are sort of patterned. And we can go black and white. These are useful for shading. There is only one undo, which is probably the biggest crime of D.I.Y. And there's even these palettes here. So, for example, we can paint in some people if you want a crowd. And you can make your own custom palettes here as well. So these are things that just tile as assets. They're a little bit like, I guess, the equivalent of the fancy objects in GBG. They're already pre-built in. So let's get rid of these. The other thing is there are stamps. So we can select a bunch of stamps here that are built in. And we can make our own stamps. So stamps are very useful if you want a art asset that can be easily reused across multiple games. Yeah, Applied says you can also make your own palettes. I really wish palettes were in GBG. Ramona says this seems more advanced than GBG. It's... Yes, I would say the texture editor, because that is really the majority of where you're going to be spending your time, it's far and away above what is offered in GBG. Man, I think I'm going to stumble over those acronyms every time today. Sylvia says, how much is this game? So that's the other great thing that I would mention. Because this game didn't sell too well, mostly because it came kind of at the end of its lifespan, you can get this game quite cheaply. It's really... You can still find it, of course, secondhand now, but it's remained very, very cheap, or at least it has here, last time I checked. Alright, let's make some cheese. Line Rider says, this has the best tutorials of any creation game. Yeah, I think the tutorials are so fun in this. They're really, really great. Alright, let's just draw some very simple cheese right now. So, I'm thinking it's going to be a block of cheese. This is not a great cheese. What I often do is draw like a simplified version and then come back and fancy it up. Hey MYT! We can use the fill tool here to fill it in. And let's go back and draw the cheese holes. I love a cartoon cheese. Okay. Now, what you may have also spotted is that there is some other functions here that I didn't talk about, which is multiple cells. So let me just switch over to the top screen for a second. You can see for each art asset you can have up to 4 cells, and these cells are used for animation. So if I click a new cell here and add a cell, I can then how do I do it? Oh yes, I select it in this case and duplicate it to the second cell. And let's say we're going to have a cell which is like the half-eaten cheese, perhaps. So we can take a bit of a bite out of here, for example, a bit of a bite out of here, and one over here. And then we can add a new cell again, and copy the contents of the second cell over to the third cell, and we can take a bit more of a bite out of the cheese. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Not much cheese left here now. And then we're going to make one last cell here. Hey Aiden, how you doing? Alright, and the last cell is going to be blank. So in fact, let's take a little bit more off of this one here. Let's actually even add a few little sort of crumbly crumbs down here underneath. Okay, so now if I switch back over to the top screen, you'll be able to see that when I press play here, we have our animation. So that quickly, we've made an animation here. without the need to do any sort of logic to create this animation. It's just a built-in feature. So that's our cheese. Perfect. We will exit from the cheese graphic creation and head back. And now let's have a look at the assembly page. So we have AI listed here and we have a command listed here. So the command is the text that pops up in the very beginning of your micro game. So normally it will say something like escape or eat. You know, it's a very simple command, and it gives some indication of what you're going to have to do. So I think we should just have eat the cheese. Oh, there's not enough characters. Okay. So let's just go eat cheese. And exclamation mark. Although, yeah, I always forget how much I dislike the exclamation mark in this text. So that's our command, eat cheese. Now let's head into the AI screen. So AI is what they refer to as your logic in this game. So this is our stage itself. This is where all of the game exists. So everything that happens in the game will happen in the stage here. We don't currently have a background, but that's fine. It's still going to, you know, give us a sense of what we're going to be doing. We only have one object currently, and that object is the cheese that we made with an animation. So let's go in, and we're going to decide how the logic for this cheese works. I apologize that this bit's a little bit dry. I'm going to be talking through the way that the game works, because I think there are a lot of people that are watching that don't know how the creation of the game works. The games work here in WarioWare D.I.Y. Thank you very much for subscribing. I didn't catch your name, but I really appreciate it, and I hope you're enjoying the stream today. So first decide what this object will do at the beginning of the game. So at the very start of the game, what's going to happen to the cheese? We're going to hold the animation. So it's going to stay on frame 1. There'll be no animation to begin with. And we're going to set a location for that cheese. So I say that we're going to have the cheese in an area. And I'll explain why in a minute. We'll try not to overlap the cheese with another object. And the area is going to be the entirety of the game screen. So that means, at the beginning of the game, the cheese will randomly appear somewhere within the stage, and we don't know where that's going to be. So we've defined set art to cheese and hold, no animation, and locate the cheese within the game stage at a random location. So there we go. Our very start of our cheese logic is set up. The next thing we need is something to interact with the cheese. So I think instead of heading down into these AI sections, I'm going to go back and make another asset. So let's exit from AI assembly. Let's go into graphics, and we're going to have to make a cute little Mousey. So let us type out Mousey. I really don't like this keyboard. I can never find the letters. There we go. And our Mousey is gonna be... Yeah, let's do a 16-point Mousey. Elite NYT says, make it from Mousey's mouth POV. Oh man. We'll keep it simple for now. I have a particular kind of interaction in mind, but we'll get wild as we go on, I'm sure. So let's really quick do a nice Mousey drawing. Like I say, there's always time to improve these drawings, but we just want to get something down to begin with so that we can, you know, have some logic to work with here. A little bit of a hunchback Mousey, but it's okay. Let's roll with it. Just reminding myself where the undo button is. reading back through chat. I haven't had a chance to really look through chat. Curb says, do you prefer touch or DIY? I think DIY is an incredible game. I love touched, but DIY probably just takes the first place slot for me. Oops, we're still on Phil. Color in the ears. Radical Gary says, hey Dom, how can we submit our DIY micro games? Good question. That's not something I considered, Radical Gary. I'd have to look into that because there's no easy way anymore to get creations made in DIY because the Nintendo DS like online services are no longer available. There is a kind of community website that's been built for sharing them, but it's not the smoothest thing, if I remember correctly, to get it onto an emulator. I think I want to give Mousey like a big wide mouth. We haven't had a wide mouth Mousey in a little while. He's ecstatic to see that much cheese in one place. Curb says, we need a DIY remake for Switch. Yes, I would love that. There we go. Plied has talked about the steps for how to get DIY creations shared. It's not the most straightforward thing in the world. Lego says, this went from cute to extremely creepy. I'm going to bring it back to cute. Hopefully. Oh yes, so another tool that would be really nice if it was in GBG is line tools. So we can just select and drag to build straight lines. Lil Nugget asks, what's your favorite WarioWare character? I like Jimmy T, Orbulon, and Penny. They're great suggestions, Lil Nugget. I think Jimmy T is really up there for me. Yeah, big fan of Jimmy T. Alright, I think we need to figure out what's going on with Mousey's body here a little bit. MYT says, Jimmy is the guy. He really is the guy. Okay, that'll do. Let's fill this in. And let's get some arms on Mousey. Got kind of a Steamboat Willie kind of quality to him right now. I like it. Alright. This is a boisterous Mousey, I would say. Don't you agree? Okay. Lime Rider says you could use an orange-yellow dither to make distinct shades. Yes. Maybe this is a good time to show that off. That's probably not the one to use here, though. Honestly, I don't think I want to dither this Mousey. We'll dither something else. Plight says you should make a custom dither. Yeah, like a fur dither. I forget, where do we... do it here, right? There we go. So I'm making a custom dither that we can apply. No, you know what? Let's save this for next time. And by next time, I mean next game. We're going to roll with this for now. I just don't want to get too bogged down in the nitty-gritty of certain aspects of creation. Hey, Random Cube. Okay, so I'm just going to have a single frame of animation for Mousey for the minute. Because I just want to show how we can set up the interactions here. So, as you may remember, we set up the location of our cheese. And you can see that that's randomizing every time I restart the game here. Now let's go into Mousey and decide what Mousey is going to do on start. So, we're going to have Mousey always spawn in the same area. Rather than, or at same point rather than an area. So we're going to have Mousey spawn down here at the beginning of the microgame. So that's a much more straightforward setup than for the cheese. So now when we restart the game, we have the cheese hanging out somewhere randomly in the screen. Plied says you might want to change the cheese's starting position to be pixel perfect. That is a great suggestion. We'll maybe come back to that if we need to. As I say, I'm playing a little bit fast and loose here just to keep things rolling. Alright. So now let's say when. So what I want is I want the animation to play when we tap it and Mousey makes his way to the cheese. So let's actually go into the AI for Mousey. Man, it's a very particular way of thinking, and it's taking me a moment to get myself into that headspace. So none of these. We need to go into the cheese. I was right first time. When this overlaps with another object, Mousey, decide on an action to perform for this trigger. And let's change the object's art when it overlaps with Mousey. So this one here, we're going to have it play once at medium speed. So let's just recap. When the cheese overlaps with Mousey, change art to cheese. So that will mean that we will have the cheese being eaten. But we do need to move Mousey itself. So we need to monitor the state of the cheese. And how are we going to do that? We're going to make a new AI here, and we're going to have a switch. So we're going to say that switch turns on. Oh, no. Sorry, we need to do this for the mouse in Mousey. So when the switch of the cheese turns on, which we'll come back to in a minute, then travel to a target. So this is like a predefined object within the stage, cheese. So let's have Mousey always stand here in relation to the cheese. And move fastest. Really quick to the cheese, please, Mousey. Okay. So let's just take a moment to recap, because I am really flying through this. Hey, Abe, how are you doing? We have a cheese that spawns randomly within the stage. We have a Mousey that always spawns in the same place. And now we have a switch that Mousey will monitor And when the switch turns on, Mousey will go to the cheese. However, the missing piece of the puzzle currently is we don't have anything to trigger the switch on the cheese. So we're going to go back into the cheese here. And in this section that I freed up, we're going to have it so that when the cheese is tapped, the switch will turn on. Following along at home? So now we should have a very basic but working game. Ooh, we don't. So what happened there? So we do have a Mousey that goes to the cheese, but why doesn't it trigger the animation? Aha, I think it's because it's set for when Mousey overlaps with the cheese, not when Mousey touches the cheese. And because of where we position Mousey, that's not actually an overlap. Yep, Plied is in chat and has correctly identified what I just identified. Plied says, change it to touch cheese, not overlap with cheese. Yes. So instead of overlap, we need contact, touch. Now, if you're at home and you're thinking, what does any of this mean? I don't understand. If you do get a chance to try out WarioWare D.I.Y yourself, the tutorials are fantastic in this. There we go. So now we have a working, but as I say, very basic game. Now, we need to make the game winnable. And I can see Line Rider has actually just said, and then when Mousey touches cheese, turn Mousey switch on for the win condition. Line Rider, you're way ahead of me, but thinking exactly the same thing I am. We are going to set up a win condition here. So, switch turns on. Oh, no, sorry. Contact. Touch. Another object. Cheese. So when Mousey touches the cheese, turn Mousey's switch on. Okay, so we can look at how this looks in the assembly screen here by turning on the little tooltip for whether somebody's switch is on or off. And this is super useful for monitoring the state of these objects. So at the beginning of the game, neither Mousey's or the cheese's switch on, but when we tap the cheese, it turns on, and when Mousey touches the cheese, his switch turns on. And in win condition here, we can say monitor for when Mousey's switch is on, and that's a win. So now we can actually finish this game. There we go, we won. So let's now spend a little bit of time to tweak this. So I would like a good sound effect for when Mousey reaches the cheese. So let's say when cheese touches Mousey, change art to cheese, but let's add another action here. And let's set sound effect. So let's have a listen to the sound effects that we have. And if we find one that suits the cheese eating. So we got some video game ones here. None of those feel right. Hey, Zenitsu. Maybe action? There we go. Perfect. So, we have Mousey munching on the cheese now. Let's see that in action. Wario did laugh over the top of it, but it's there. I would like a sound when we tap Mousey too. So let's go into Mousey's thing, and it would actually be under the cheese because of how we got it set up. When cheese is tapped, play a sound effect. So let's find a good Mousey sound. Maybe small dog? Curb says the action explosion sounds interesting. Okay, so right now we've got... Beautiful. Alright, so we have a very, 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 very simple game. But that kind of gives you an idea of what the basic level of interactions are. And of course you can make such complex games in comparison to this, but I just wanted to give you an overview. So we're going to make a background now. So let's go back and make our background. And we're going to do the blue and the orange of Mousey's cheese maze. So let's get the line tool here. Three? Oh, I clicked too soon. Hang on a sec. Let me restart. I've got an idea. So Mousey's just kind of chilling out, right? So we're going to have this area to be the area where Mousey's chilling. And we're going to have... Dallas says, wow, line tool, I wish GBG had that. Yeah, there's a lot of features in this texture editor that I wish GBG had. Curb says, put rotten cheese as fake cheese. Yeah, we can definitely get fancy with this stuff. Yeah, that looks like a good floor to me. And then let's do our cheesy walls. Okay, so I'm making kind of a faux 3D space here. And we are going to have to slightly edit the cheese placement to make this work. Yeah, okay. So Mousey will spawn down here, and then we'll move it so that the cheese will spawn somewhere within this area. Nice. Okay. Maybe we should draw a cheese hole on the back of this wall as well. That's very squashed. Okay, let's just do that. Cool. Okay. I think that's our background. Odd Ollie says, I just got back. Mousey's cheese maze? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You got it. Okay, so that's our background. Now, I think we need some Mousey animations. And this may actually require us to change some of the logic of the game. So here's what I'm thinking. We probably ought to have a running animation for Mousey. So that means we'll have an idle animation. MYT says the problem is that the cheese may spawn on the wall. Yeah, as I mentioned, we'll need to address the area which the cheese spawns in. We'll do that in a little bit, but thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I reckon we'll have an idle animation, we'll have a running animation, and we'll have an eating animation for Mousey. So we'll have this first Mousey is going to be our idle Mousey and our running Mousey, but we're probably going to have to create a new Mousey for eating. Curb says, make him extremely fat when we're winning. Yes, I think we should also do that. We'll have a win sprite too after eating. Ow, my knee. So let's edit this. In fact, you know what? Let's maybe just have the idle animation as its own thing. See you, breakfast face. Thanks for hanging out. So let's copy this over. And then what I like to do for an idle animation is just... Oh, I didn't copy it. Something that I do a lot is just move it rather than copy it. Which is no good. Yeah, what I like to do for an idle animation is just shuffle it down a little bit. So let's move over to the top screen and I'll show you what this looks like. Raring to go. MYT says, a copy function? What is this magic? Yeah, clearly the Switch was not powerful enough to have a copy function. It would have just exploded the game, I think, if there was a copy function in GBG. Nice. So there's our idle animation. So we're actually probably going to want to rename this Mousey. So let's say Mousey idle. Cool. Now we want Mousey running, right? So we're going to copy this into the second art slot and edit this. We don't want this second frame. So let's just clear this out entirely. Head back to the first frame. And I guess to save actually having to do like a running, let's maybe just do like a puff of smoke round his feet and do something with his arms. So let's get a big brush. Let's see if, is this gonna make sense? I don't know. Let's just see. See you later, Bori. Maybe instead we can do the sort of figure of 8 running legs. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong screen. Thank you for reminding me, Line Rider. Yeah, brown blur for his legs, says Ollie. Yeah. I like that idea. So we'll actually have to exit out from this, delete this one. Because we only got one undo, sadly. Edit it again. Delete the second frame. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do just like a figure 8. That seems like a good idea. I'm trying to think of how to visualize this. Oh, maybe like many legs? With some, like, speed lines? Okay, I think this could work. I think this could work. Alright, so let's do something with the arms. Make the speed lines white, maybe. Yeah, good shout. So we can just go in and fill these. As I mentioned before, whoops, we can always improve these later. Dallas says FPS gotta be really fast to make this look normal. Oh yeah, for sure. So let's have, ooh, wrong color. One arm up. Cornbread says, is WarioWare D.I.Y a fan game? No, it's an official Nintendo product. Actually, I can probably just change the positioning of the arm here. Curb says, select and move, what is this dark magic? Mercury says much the same. It even has a selection tool. GBG, please. It's making artwork in this game is so pleasant compared to GBD. Notnut says, Dom, what are you doing? We're making a game in WarioWare D.I.Y. Okay, this is a bit weird, but let's roll with it for now. And let's copy this. Over to 2. Let's get rid of the legs. Okay. And then do the same sort of thing. Maybe with a bit more emphasis on the legs at the back here. Okay. I don't know whether this is gonna work, but let's just keep going. Alright, let's check it out. Let's switch to the top screen and see what this looks like if we play it. Okay, that's fine. I think if we change the arms, this will be okay. Ma says, put wind behind him. Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah. Maybe on one of the frames. So if we go down here and just put a little puff of smoke. It's amazing how much you can do with 2 frames of an animation. Yeah, that's working for me. Okay, so I think the last thing is actually just to move the arms, and then we're going to be golden. MYT says, is Abomination Mousey going to be a thing? Well, let's see. It's a very strange running animation, but that's fine. Mousey's a strange dude. All right, let me switch over to the top screen so you can see. All right, that's gonna do for the running animation, I think. So let's go back and edit the name to Mousey Run. Dallas says way faster. On this screen, Dallas, you can't change the speed of the animation. That's done in the assembly screen, but we will be making it faster. Oh, Line Rider says, did you show off onion peeling? No, I'd forgotten. I mentioned onion peeling in my WarioWare DIY in GBG, or GBG in WarioWare DIY video. But yes, there is onion skinning, which is super useful when making animations. So you can see here, I can turn on the adjacent cell. Yeah, turn on the display of the previous cell, and it's very useful. Curb says, wait a second, Penny is nowhere to be seen in WarioWare Get It Together. That's true, we haven't seen Penny yet. I just had a thought. I want to do something up here. There we go. Much better. Oh man, this one's looking pretty cursed. Make his ears flap on 1 frame, says Odd Ollie. I love these suggestions. So this is something I probably should have done before copying the cell, but never mind. We can do it like this. Aiden says put a hat on him. Mousey doesn't wear a hat. Not at least in not yet at least. There's room for hats later though. Curb, I don't know about Penny in Get It Together. Maybe we'll see Penny in the story, and that's the reason that they're not showing Penny off yet. Because don't forget, the only characters that we've seen so far are ones that are like helping Wario in making games, right? Line Rider says, Dom, you can change the speed in this screen, but I forget how though. But it's only the representation of how quickly it would go. It doesn't actually affect the speed in the game, which I think Dallas was asking about. Alright, so we're going to have Mousey's ears flap a bit. Okay. There we go. I'll switch over to the top screen. There you go, fast mode. Alright, and then finally we'll have the eating version of Mousey, but we're going to fix the assembly first so that we can see Mousey running in action. So when cheese switch turns on, target cheese, but also switch the artwork to Mousey run at full speed. So let's take a look at this. Okay, cool. So right now the cheese spawns in weird spots, so we're gonna have to adjust this. Not says, what if Mousey started sweating while running? That's a good suggestion, yeah. So we're gonna adjust this now. So the cheese can only appear somewhere in, let's say, this area. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nice. Does Mousey still... Let's try. So Mousey will continuously run at the moment, but we're going to do the eating animation next. Kerb says, do you think GBG is more fun to play than DIY? Well, I would say that GBG wins in terms of fun because there's so many people making stuff for it, and it's relatively easy to play those games. Whereas in DIY nowadays, you have to do some serious work to try out people's levels, and there's obviously a smaller audience. But one thing I really love about DIY is it's very, very quick to make a fun little idea. Whereas I think in GBG, as you'll know, I usually kind of try to make something a little bit too big. And you can easily get lost in a project. Right, let's do our eating Mousey. So here I think I'm gonna try something kind of weird out. I don't know whether this is gonna work, but I like to try some weirder stuff with this. So I think we should have like Mousey pop from 3 positions. And I think to do that we can probably just rotate the canvas. So if we get one... I could have just filled this in. I don't know why I didn't fill it in. So if we get one frame of Mousey eating... I'm not doing... I'm just trying something out here. Okay, so fill that in. Alright, sure. Kind of looks like Mousey's being... This is like Mousey's hit state currently, by the looks of it, but... I kind of wanted it to feel like when Mousey's eating in Mousey's cheese maze, like the inhaling. Alright, and then I think we can just add a new frame, add a new cell, excuse me. Duplicate this version of Mousey. Move it to the new frame, and then just change the rotation. And maybe change the wind pattern. So he's going to be kind of jumping all around the cheese, perhaps? I don't know, maybe this won't work. We'll find out. This is the thing about DIY. I feel like it's quick to try ideas. Oh man, it's kind of hard to figure out where the... Oops. Okay. And then let's do one more frame. Yeah, I think we should definitely do like my tummy is full kind of Mousey as well, for sure. Then let's go back to frame 2 and do the same. Copy to cell 3 and rotate. Then we'll delete these lines and just do one more. Of basically the same thing. Chonky Mousey, that's right. Mousey burps after eating the cheese. Also a good suggestion. Is he going to be quickly going around the cheese like in a cartoon? That's my plan, Odd Ollie. I'm not sure how much it's going to work, but we'll find out. Let's switch to the top screen so you can see. It's maybe not going to work, but let's try it. So that's Mousey eat. So in assembly, to get the Mousey eating to work, we would need to do what is it? When cheese touches Mousey, when do we turn the switch on when it's tapped? Ooh, how are we going to change the artwork for... Oh yes, yeah, when Mousey touches the cheese, right? Looks like he's getting sucked into a vortex. Okay, actually that works better than I thought. Currently the overlapping is weird, but if we fix that, I think this is going to be okay. Yeah, alright. I'll buy that, I think. Yeah. That's fine. Dallas says, I thought Mousey sucks cheese, not goes towards it. This is, Mousey's feeling extra athletic today and has decided to go to the cheese rather than bringing the cheese to him. So let's get one last bit of art in here. So you're not Freddy. And that's going to be full Mousey. So let's go Mousey. Full. And then let's draw our Mousey. Like. Big tummy. And alright, I don't want this to look horrible. How am I gonna do this? Maybe like okay, maybe I'm just trying to visualize this in my head. Make him look like cheese, says Red Shell. This is already exceptionally cursed. Mars says not nightmare fuel at all. I know. It's... Ugh. I don't know whether I can go forward with this. It's too nightmarish already. Whoops. Yeah, this is a nightmare. I think I think we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board on this one. What a mess. Let's just do a big round Mousey. Lionel says, but it's our nightmare. I know what I'm gonna do. Okay. Aiden says, Dom, where can I watch Jez tutorials? My best suggestion, Aiden, would be on Jez Studios' YouTube channel. Dallas says, this is just a rough sprite, right? Yeah, sure. Why is that foot so big? Why have I suddenly lost the ability to draw Mousey at all? Some would say I never had the ability to draw Mousey, but this I think is next level. The more I look at it, the more it's making me laugh. Hey, Kermit Nomad, how you doing? Yeah, not. My plan is to have a kind of sleeping Mousey here. Hey Arch, how are you? Good to see you as always. Hashtag Mousey heads. We may need to introduce... I'm trying to think what's going to be the best to show. I'd really like to show the separation between his head and his body here, but I'm struggling. Because also I kind of want his arm to be... Maybe we'll just have to use black. Oh, this bit we won't need to. But maybe for the overlapping bit we'll need to. Custom dither of brown and black, says Line Rider. Honestly, I think this looks okay. I'm trying to think for here whether we can get away with maybe just like... that, maybe? Okay, maybe that'll do. Oh wait, I don't like this actually, sorry. I've changed my mind. I think that's fine. Let's move it down a little bit within the frame, just because we can. Keep it a little bit more centered. Arch says, I don't think you need to separate the head and the body. Yeah, I'm with you actually, Arch, yeah. Okay, so there's our Mousey artwork. Let's head into the assembly. How are we gonna do this? So we've got to think about how we're gonna trigger the sleeping state. Maybe, can we do it tied to the win condition? Line Rider says, when Cheese Art finishes playing, turn switch off. Can you do that, Line Rider? You can turn a switch off when artwork finishes? Switch turns off when... Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, when switch turns off... Other order. Oh, right, yeah. Yes, nice. Switch off. Wicked. Yeah, good shout. Mara says, play sleeping sound at end of the micro game. Yes, good idea. Also, I just spotted Arch saying, wow, moving the sprite in the canvas? GBG never could. Or GBG could never. That was part of the reason why. Part of the reason I moved Mousey down there, just because I could. Right, switch off. So... also choose specific art. Hang on. Could we choose... Sorry, I'm just parsing what line writer said here. So in the win condition... So when Mousey switches on and Cheese switches off... but then I saw Radical Gary saying, also choose specific art. It will do it to any art otherwise, question mark. Right. Yes. Yeah. Cheers, Arch. Thank you. I'm quite proud of the running mouse. I'll hopefully show it off in a moment. Line Raider says, the cheese only has one art, it's no problem. So now... is it when cheese switch turns off, then switch art to Mousey 4, right? Is this gonna work? I think it's just gonna skip the eating animation now. Oh man, that super broke it. Radical Gary says, you missed add to trigger, you need the other one. On cheese? Could you clarify that further, Radical Gary? You need both what? Sorry. You say, you missed add to trigger, you need the other one, you need both. Line Writer says you'd need both while art is set to cheese and when art finishes playing. There we go. Thank you both to Radical Gary and Line Rider and Mr. Observador there for clarifying that. So we need a sound effect for Sleeping Mousey, right? So let's go sound effect here. Is there a sleeping sound? Forget. Oh, that gulp sounds good. Good sounds under animals. Under creature, sorry. I really like the Mario Paint Baby noise. Can we... I know it's not sleeping, but maybe we can do that. Gulp before munch. Ah, Line Rider used pig for snoring sound. That's a good shout. Hang on, let's see what it's like with Baby. Arch says, does this game have screaming woman? I don't think this game has Screaming Woman. We have screaming men. Yeah, I think big could work. Oddly says the baby sound is in Super Mario Maker 2 as well. Yes, it is, yeah. Alright, let's just try baby first. So what if we went baby then snoring? I forget, how do you make a sound play continuously in this? There is a way of doing it, right? Just to have the sound loop for the duration of a particular action. Mar says, play the gulp sound effect right before the munch sound effect. Maybe right before the... Right after the munch sound effect, right? So it's like... Lion Raider says you'd have to make an animation that lasts a certain amount of time, have it play once, and then when the art finishes playing, restart it and play a sound. Right, yeah. Okay, well let's not worry too much about that here. I don't want to get super bogged down in that. Oh, it sounds like an alarm and is bad anyway. Okay. Hey, Hua. So let me just quickly do the gulp sound effect. Okay, happy with that. I think we're basically here for the gameplay. I mean, I know it's incredibly simple. But I feel pretty pleased with that. I think we should move on to making some music for it. So, let's finish in AI assembly. Yeah, Jacob says now we need some music. So the music is incredible. The music maker is incredible in D.I.Y. So you can import existing ones or start from scratch. Let's start from scratch and I'll talk through the process a little bit. So I'm going to switch over to the top screen and just kind of explain what we've got going on here. So this is a music sequencer. We have 4 tracks and rhythm. And we can do quite a lot here, a surprising amount here. So let me switch back to the bottom screen, and we're going to start with the rhythm track. So right now, we have these kind of classic kit options. So I'm going to tap. You can hear those. That sounds a little bit quiet to me. Is it quiet for everybody at home? I'm going to just turn it up a tiny bit. Ooh, record scratch. Nice. See you, Line Rider. Mr. Observador says, it's simple, but most WarioWare microgames are. That's true and very kind, Mr. Observador, to say. So, I'd actually like to change the instrument. So let's see the different kits we have available. This is the classic drum. There is like a electric drum kit, kind of industrial sounding. We have like a bunch of animal sounds here. We have kind of traditionally Japanese kit here. Cutlery, pots and pans. Silly sounds. Beatboxing. So I think for the rhythm, let's maybe go the electric kit. Mr. Observador says, is this Mario Paint Songmaker? It's like an advanced Mario Paint Songmaker. It feels like it really carries on the stylings of that one, but takes it even further. Alright, so I'm actually going to maybe ask Maestro to make us a rhythm here as our starting point. So Maestro is this little dude down here, and you can request a phrase to be composed by the Maestro. He's going to compose, I believe, stuff for each track, but we're just going to take the rhythm from it. I would like a normal speed, factory sound, a fun sound, although it's not going to matter too much for the rhythm. Okay, so let's change this instrument back to this kit, and there we go. So simple, but nice. So let's drop a few extra beats in here. So we're just kind of building it up a tiny bit. Nice. Okay, I dig it. So let's copy across that into the second phrase. Nice. That gave it the lift it needed. I don't like what it gave us up here though, so let's just get rid of this entirely. So this is the bass line. I don't like the instrument, don't like the vibes of it at all. So let's look at our bass line instruments, or what I'm classing as the bass line. Man, I love some of these crazy sounds. Yeah, let's go for a robot sounding bass. Issarat says, I wish WarioWare D.I.Y had a 3/4 time signature option for making music. That would be great. Let's turn the drums on for a bit. Oh, actually, we need to go up to track 1 and get rid of this. Daigo says, does Mousey live in a factory? I feel like the kind of industrial sounding drums feel very cheese mazy to me. I don't know why. Okay. Okay, that sounds alright. So just remember, this is our bass line. We'll be doing our lead up here. Yes, okay. Now, we need some suitably mousy lead sounds. I want Mousey to be leading the charge here. Unless it was Meowsy singing the BGM. Daigo says Dom just created a bop. Let's see. Mr. Observador says monkey on the higher keys sounded more like mouse to me. That's true, yeah. If we stay up here. We can always add Meowsy as a third instrument. Okay. Ooh. Hang on, we're in a bit slow down. Yeah, Tube says audio is kind of delayed. Yeah, I think my PC's having a hard time with this. Okay, we might have to call this done just because it's... I can hear the fans kicking up. Let's just quickly put Meowsy in track 3. There we go. Saved it. Okay. Whew. Alright, that is our music. So I think instead of playing it in the little screen, we're gonna click finish here and play it on the big screen as it deserves, to see all of the parts coming together. So we get to play. We get to press, excuse me, the ship it button, which is always a treat after you've worked hard on a game. The final step before it goes gold, so to speak, is choosing the shape of the cartridge and choosing the color. Now, which of these cartridges looks the most cheese-like? That one's pretty cheesy. I mean, the default car is... So it's got to be the yellow, right? Fifth one. Ooh, yeah. I could see that. Let's go for that one. And we get to pick an image. None of these are screaming Mousey. Maybe we should just do the poop one because it's funny. This one could be Mousey. Honestly, I know it's a car, but it could be Mousey. Right? They could be the ears. That could be the eye. They could be feet. The mystery box, because it looks like it could be cheese. I'm kind of into the idea of this one being Mousey running, though. Carsey, says Mr. Observador. The boxes is good, but yeah, it's got to be this one. It's got to be this one. Alright, this screen doesn't matter anymore because it's about sharing it with other people. Now we get to make a nice little description here. So let's say Mousey loves cheese. Loves cheese. Whoops. Oh, I don't like that line break. Hang on. Oh, I used a V. Thank you very much, Radical Gary, for pointing that out. Oh, here. I think I did that before once. Oh my goodness. Why is this keyboard so difficult to use? Oh, it's a capital Y now, isn't it? Oh dear. What a mess. There we go. Mousey loves cheese. Comma. Fact. Perfect. There we go. The game is still called Game! I forget, can we change that after this screen? Any DIY experts, can you remember, can you change the name on the next screen, or are we gonna have to go back? Alright, we're gonna have to go back. Alright. We'll be back in a second. Alright, let's just call it Cheese Feast. Ooh, there's just the right amount of characters. Alright. There we go. Oh, I need to type this out again. Close call on that one. Alright. Oh my god. There we go. Who knew the hardest part of game development would be writing a brief description? Alright. Drop it on the shelf. And we're gonna click OK. And from this point, it will be manufactured and it will be sent out to game stores all across the world. Who knew? My first Mousey game would be shipped from WarioWare D.I.Y. Here we go. Load up the truck. Ship it. Man, that truck ate all of those games just like Mousey eating all the cheese. The game has been shipped, so it's a... Oh, I didn't have time to read it. Let's go check it out. Oh, it says, will we get a Switch port soon? I bet somebody is already making a GBG version of this as we speak. No doubt about it. Common says it's going to get 10 out of 10 from reviewers and critics. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what IGN says about it. Let's play it. Games. DIY games. Cheese Feast. Made by Video Dojo Software. This should say made with love by everybody in the stream today. Let's play it. Mousey comes in at the very last second. Meow. There we go. So that will now be added to the list of creations we have all made together in D.I.Y. What do you reckon, chat? One more game today. It will probably be a simple one if we want to get it finished, or a comic. I'll leave it up to you all to decide. Perhaps if we were to make another game, we could base it on one of the existing games. So instead of completely building something from scratch, we could take one of these and change some of the art assets. Tube says make the Cowboy Baby game. Oh man. That's tempting. Sylvie, every game in WarioWare is a curb game. Okay, I'm gonna quickly do a poll. Here's my idea. I'll do a poll. Whichever one wins, I'll do. But I'm gonna go get a drink, so it'll give you some time to come up with your suggestions. So, okay, there's the poll. I will be back in a moment. I don't have the drink screen. Oh, maybe I do. Hang on. One moment, please. Ooh, my computer's getting real chunky. There we go. I'll be back in a second. So, vote away, and why not get a drink? I'll be like 2 minutes, and then we'll do whatever the most suggested in the poll is. Okay, see you in a minute. Hey everyone, I'm back. Let's have a look at what is winning here. Oh, it is far and away draw a comic that has been suggested here. Okay, let's end that poll. Let's get to work on a comic here. So we go into the D.I.Y studio. Tube says your computer is going to explode. I know. Oh, I'm still got the drink break screen up. Yeah, I don't know why it's struggling so much today. So let's go comic make-o-matic. What a tune. D.I.Y says, can we make a DSA comic? Sure. Oh, wait, should we do the Pokeball thing? That was talked about in the, Curb says, make Dom's baby hat origin story explaining that you have the blue helmet because you fell, you fell as a baby. I don't know. I'm happy to go with whatever chat really suggests for a suggestion here. Somebody want to give just a kind of generalized theme or perhaps a character? I know that the frog was suggested. Excuse me. Baby cowboy comic. Okay, all right. Let's think. All right. So in the Baby Hat Fail funny game, we had the hat drop down on Baby Dom and cry. Where is the hat coming from? Do we want to maybe see a little bit about the time before the hat lands? Setting volcano, says Dallas. Did the hat come out of a volcano? We need to spend a little bit of time thinking about what our premise is here. It's good, this is like a writer's room. We're spitballing ideas here together. Curb says from Lario's hat launcher. Radical Gary says it fell from an alien ship and is a parasite. I mean, that is intense. That's a little bit similar to the Sponge's origin story. Let's do Lario fires it out of a hat gun. Alright, so let's get started. I like to sketch the idea first of all. So what, if this was like... This is a hat launcher. There's Lario. So that's the first. Obviously we'll go and draw this properly, but that is the first panel. Is the second panel we don't need to waste an entire panel on the hat flying through the air, right? We need to just get into the action. We need like make Baby Mousey be with Baby Dom. Okay. So are we going straight to Baby Dom? No, that's very kind of you to say. D.I.Y says the hat bounces on a UFO. You know what? I like that idea a lot. That's a funny intermediary panel. Ooh, that's too narrow. Hang on. It can be the UFO from the UFO game I made. Way back. So we need to have like the hat fly in here. And then somehow show it bouncing down here. We'll figure out how to make that make sense later. So we've got oh sorry, it's on the wrong screen. We've got flying down. So this panel will be as was suggested by Tube, have a random baby outside with a flying hat in the background. So this can be Baby Dom and Baby Mousey hanging out. Yeah, that's a good shout, Curb. We'll do that when we go back and make these the actual panels. Curb says make the hat already down because it bounced. And a little bonk where it hit the UFO. Yeah, great. Great suggestion. Excuse me. I'd like to have the baby just walking a little bit. Like, teetering. Baby Mousey's gonna be absolutely tiny. Hey, Anjay. Yeah, I noticed you. Okay. And then what? Like the hat coming. Oh man, how are we gonna? Okay, we'll be able to figure something out. The hat just like catapulting in, or should it just be a little speck on the horizon? Odd Ollie says, Dom, could you please put your GBG programmer ID in the chat? I'll have to do that after the stream, Odd Ollie. I'll put it into the Discord. I'm sure somebody might be able to find it. If they do, I could pin that comment, but I just wouldn't be able to get access to it right now because I'm on my PC. Rocketing down like a meteor. That's kind of not on track to even... Oh, maybe we need a split screen. Oops. I think we need a split screen. Split screens always save you in a comic. So like, dramatic shot of hat. Hang on though. Wait a second, maybe this is the way to go about it. We just do like a little speck on the horizon here. And then we're like, enhance. Not sold on this. Hey Supersonic, how you doing? trying to think what will be the most impactful. Let's start again. Let's not be afraid to reset here a little bit. I don't know. I think we need to establish. We need a panel to establish the baby. Don't worry about how bad they look. We'll fix that. Maybe we just keep it simple and just have the hat flying in from above at this point. But what if we like edge this frame with bubble? Because the final frame is going to be the adult remembering it. I think this is it. I think this is the solution here. AO says baby fail game? Yes, that's right. Funny hat fail. We're just sketching out our structure here. Tube says, just so you know, the camera is focused on the top screen. Thank you for the heads up, Tube. I'd forgotten that. What do you think? I'm open for suggestions here. Cheap says love it. Digus is great. Okay, let's get to work making it actually good now. Of course, there is still room for suggestions along the way. And the hat is about to hit real him, says Radical Gary. Okay, so first of all, let's make our Lario look like Lario. I quite like this framing, so we'll keep the general framing of this. Dom's tragic backstory, yeah. That's what comics are for. For really, fleshing out tragic character backstories. Not says it's already good. Good. Again, very kind. But let's make it fabulous. Tube says it looks like Matt from Wii Sports. Okay, I may need to actually pull up a picture of Lario for myself here. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Wow. Did you hear that? Oh, my PC's freaking out. Okay, let's get Lario's trademark monobrow. And his sad, sad eyes. See ya, Anje. Ooh, maybe you should be closing one eye because he's aiming. Oh, and you gotta make room for the mustache too. Curb started whatever his comment was with "Make Waluigi," and I immediately stopped reading. Not really. Curb says, "Make Waluigi behind the UFO because that's where Lario was aiming, but the UFO appears and Wario hit it instead of Waluigi." Hey Country Ball, we're playing WarioWare D.I.Y. We're currently making a comic book. I think the fact that the mustache is going to the edge of the frame is making it look like a weird sort of beard. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's get this hat looking as good as we can. Still not sold on the Lario face right now, but it's fine. We can kind of work incrementally on this. I don't like spending too long on one thing without making some of what feels like progress. Country Brawl says, yes, it's back. That's right, we're back in D.I.Y. Now that's a more Lario-shaped hat. Yeah, my PC's freaking out. It's weird. It never used to have this much trouble with D.I.Y. I wonder why it is today. Oh, what is this wonky brim here? Oh my goodness, Papa Smurf, that sounds intense. Okay, let's leave that like that for now. Let's get a bit more of a shoulder shape here. Aiden says, what does D.I.Y. mean? Well, this is WarioWare D.I.Y. D.I.Y. usually means do it yourself. But I suppose it doesn't explicitly mean that here. Let's make this hat launcher look a little bit more like some kind of real thing rather than just a cardboard box. I'm not happy with Lario's nose either. We'll need to do something with that eventually. Country Ball says, who is Lario? Lario is a test tube creation made by Wario. We invented him for our original D.I.Y streams. Dallas, you can't rush art. Okay, I think this is gonna have like a weird... I want it to look a little bit kind of sci-fi. So let's say we've got like a launcher back here that Lario's holding. To the actual big sort of cannon part here. See you, Country Ball. And then maybe a second handle down here. Which Lario's left hand will be on. We'll figure that out in a minute. It's definitely gonna need some kind of weird sight up here. Perfect. Oh, sorry, Country Ball, I misunderstood. See you, Red Shell? Okay. Nice, nice, nice. This is a strange stance from Lario, but whatever. Lario is a strange dude. Mercury says, that's a big Nerf gun. That's right, Mercury. The biggest Nerf gun. Lario is going to be firing a hat from his hat cannon into the sky. Welcome back, Ramona. Okay, so let's work on Lario's face a little bit more. Scary. So he says, I got back to find Lario holding a big t-shirt cannon. That's not a t-shirt cannon. That's a hat cannon. Easy mistake to make, though. His body is so triangular, that's right. It won't be once we're done. Arch, thank you very much for re-upping your channel membership. Your continued support is greatly appreciated. Man, what am I doing here? Come on, focus. There we go. Sylvia says, can't you make cutscenes in this game? Not really, no. Comics are the closest to that. Sorry, I'll stop going back and forth on Lario's nose here in a second. That'll do. Right, let's do his body. Let's really figure out what's happening here. So really, we just need to, like, square off the body a bit more. There we go. There we go. Alright, so here's the other thing that we can do. We can add lettering. So instead of having to write hat cannon on the side there, I can pick my font style. This one, please, I think. Yeah. Oops. Oh, although I suppose because we've done it at an angle, we may actually have difficulty doing that. Yeah, Curb, I was planning on doing the, like, a bang in the background here. We're gonna have to just handwrite hat. Supersonic says, I made a hat launcher. What, in real life? I think I want to use the NES style font. Big. Whoops. Yeah, I'm okay going over the hat a little bit there. Look how good the exclamation mark is in this font. Incredible. Alright, so here's one of my favorite thing about the comic maker is the different levels of shading that you can do. It's so much fun. So for, like, Lario's hat, which is a pale blue, right? I guess we'd want a fine shading in there. Ah, but we've... Whoops. Got a gap, so let's fix that first. Because of the outline of the text, yeah. It's okay. I suppose we should do his overalls too. Whoops, what's going on? So let's fill in these bits with the light shading again. And then there we go. You can do so much with this. Beautiful. That's too much. Let's have maybe like some kickback. Beautiful. I think this panel's done. Now it's done. Now it's done. Oh, I need to do this though. See you, Mercury. Alright. Panel 1 is completely finished. So let's, before I forget, let's get rid of the hat here. Curb says you can make that much stuff in the comics? I don't know what that's referring to. I think I need to redraw the UFO quite significantly. Currently it's nobody in the UFO, but it's gonna look like the little alien I made for one of the micro games in D.I.Y. once it's done, hopefully. Stay with me, PC. Don't you go dying on me, PC. Bye-bye, Stickman. Nice knowing you. See you, Papa Smurf. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. Stickman. Which color Stickman is everybody's favorite? I like the yellow Stickman. Oops. Okay. I like it. Okay. So let's fill. Oh no. Now I should be able to fill it. Okay, looking good. Let's fix these so they're a little bit more consistent. Alright. Nice. I'm happy with that. Oh, we should give it the little lights or the feet. Whatever they are on the bottom. Just like the real one in the microgame. There we go. Let's get like a nice fill in the background. And that's too much. Maybe the stripy one? Oh, actually, it wouldn't make sense because it's daytime, right? So let's just do that. And I need to make the hat not hideous. Okay. Let's erase here in the bump line. Yep, panel 2's done. I think I'm okay. No, I have no idea what that is, Curb. I think I'm okay with the shape of the bubble, so let's just focus on our main characters here. Right, hideous Mousey, get out of here. Alright, let's get drawing. I want the baby to be so happy before the incident. big ears. Country Ball says, Dom, is that villager from AC? Kind of looks like it, doesn't it? That's right, Ramona. We need to feel extra bad for baby Dom. Tube, thanks for hanging out. Glad you enjoyed it. Okay, zoom back a bit. Hey Minecraft. Curb says, will we get a new Return to D.I.Y series? If people have enjoyed this, I mean, we can start doing it on a more regular basis. Just like it was previously. Not says, are the comics like intros? No, they're just their own standalone things. They don't have any kind of interactive element. Hey Oliver, how you doing? I don't have any current plans to play Smash, you know, in the immediate future. Oh, what a weird looking hat. That's right, Oliver, we're doing a comic of the crying baby origin story. We're answering the question, where did the hat come from? Horrorflix says, I'm back again, what did I miss? Not a huge amount, we're just fancifying the comic that we made previously, or we sketched out previously. Maybe we can just leave that like that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, final panel. Let's do our Dom. People wanted the prequel for years and it's finally here, says Ramona. Oh yes, sorry Country Boy, you must have arrived after we'd agreed that it was the Funny Hat Fail Baby origin story. You must have been very confused. Also, thank you very, very much for your kind words. As always. Oh yes, thank you Radical Gary for reminding me about including the real hat. Okay, so just kind of straightening up some lines here currently. Hey Max. Bori says, have you considered playing viewers' DIY creations? Somebody, in fact, maybe you were asking earlier, somebody was asking earlier about that, and I love that idea, but the logistics of it is something that would maybe make that difficult. I don't know how we would make it so people could get their creations. I mean, maybe we need to... I mean, don't forget, there is a DIY channel. Maybe people can send in videos of their creations to the DIY channel. Okay. I'm honestly pretty okay with the Dom face, but I'm just gonna redraw the eyes. Yeah, Bori, I actually have the program already for importing saves. I'm just thinking for most people, how would they actually... You know, if the whole thing was about sharing people's or showing off people's creations, I think the majority of people that have DIY probably don't have the means to get their save off their DS or off their emulator. Will the trauma of the hats never end? That's a bad hat. The past always comes back, says Curb. Okay, so let's fill in the background here. Oh man, I wish I hadn't done that because I don't love that. Shoot. So that's the one most frustrating thing about WarioWare DIY. You cannot undo more than one click. It's a killer. Maybe we can make the most of this by having it as like a half hatch along this edge. Hey Elite, how you doing? I can probably just kind of save this here. Just on this edge. See you, Oliver. Don't worry, we're wrapping up very soon anyway. Just gonna finish off this comic. Yeah, there we go. Honestly, I think that's pretty much there. Suppose we can do the blushing cheeks using the halftone. Oh, if Photoshop only had one undo. There we go. Elite says, anybody wondering where Penny is and get it together? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I feel like maybe Penny will turn up in the story. I'm just going to try and squeeze the baby head in here crying. Great. Oh, I suppose I can use one of these on the hair. Yeah, okay. Alright. Folks, I think it's time to appreciate our creation here. Let's call it Funny Hat. There's not many characters. Maybe we can call it... Tragic... Tragic Past. There we go. Right, let's have a quick read before we ship it. Tragic Past.
Boom! Wario!
Boing. It's like a very reverberant sound. You can just hear a cry in the distance. There we go. Beautiful stuff. Odd Ollie says, a true piece of art, Dom. That's what we do here in WarioWare DIY. We make art. Ship it! Let's go for blue, because it's a... blue is my color. I guess we'll use this one? I mean, it does feature a UFO, but the UFO is not the main... Maybe we could go for this, because it looks a bit like a hat? Yeah, maybe we'll go for this one. Excuse me. Perhaps the face, says Radical Gary. I think I'm okay with this. Oh, sorry. Let me switch to the top screen so you can see. I think that looks alright. So the book is Dom. Oh yeah, I suppose that's a good shout. Technically, the UFO is the reason the hat hit Dom. Actually, I think this is a good shout. Hang on, let's use the yellow, maybe? No, let's go for the white. There we go. Alright, let's go to the bottom screen. Kirby, you're spot on. Technically, the UFO is the reason the hat hit Dom is a very good point. It is a very key player, but I do like the face. The face is just making me laugh. The story behind the story There we go. Plied, what is that? I have no idea what that is. Alright, let's drop it on the shelf where it belongs. Beautiful. And Nintendo Flush says libraries across the globe are going to be selling this. Yeah, number one Times Book of the Year. Curve has sent a beautiful emoji story there. The only thing Dom was missing was a funny hat, says Elite Octo. Country Ball says, also I'm kind of new to the channel. I joined at the sprite tutorial for GBG. What is the emote? What is the emote? What is that emote? Is it person Dom or what? Which one are you referring to, Country Ball? Wow, Plight, I've never ever heard of that. Bugger sort is a sorting algorithm that just scrambles the items until they're correct. I like the idea of a pancake version of that a lot. Bori says, ship me 1,000 copies. That binding and that paperweight. Also, the plot is unique and the art incredible. See you, Red Shell, thanks for hanging out. Oh, the face with the blue, like this. Like this one, Country Ball, that I just sent. There we go. Folks, we have made some beautiful things here today. Yeah, there's what Curb said is the answer there. Flat Dom is me. Horrorflix says, Dom, when's the next GBD stream other than tomorrow? So if I'm remembering correctly, I mean, you can go and check the community post to get an exact guarantee on this, because my memory's pretty bad, but it's like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I think. Okay. Perhaps we'll finish off by just doing one little playthrough of another set of the inbuilt games. Let's do the 9-volt ones. But Country Ball, the DOM design comes from a series that's been running on the channel for a very, very long time called Deep Space Adventures. I'd recommend checking out the movie if you want an introduction to that. Elite Octo says, what's a Wario game without a nose reference? Oh, there are plenty of nose references. Nintendo Plush says, 9-volts games are always the best. Agreed, yeah, I love 9-volts games. So, sadly, because I don't have a DS capture card, I'm having to play this on my PC. And using a mouse to play some of these games is less than ideal. Because obviously when you've got a proper touchscreen and you're using a stylus, you can just tap wherever, whereas with a mouse you have to drag it around. Oops. I forgot what I was doing there. 9-volt is very adorable. Ramona says we should finish with a 72-hour Picross stream. I have to get up very early in the morning tomorrow, so, so no Picross tonight, sadly. I wish we could Picross. Gotta wait till his guards are down. This is not gonna be a good run based on the fact I'm down to 1 life. Oh, I forgot the 9-volts boss stage is so difficult. It's the fly swap minigame. Oh wait, yeah, the boss wasn't even the... Ah, what am I doing? Terrible run. Yeah, applied, I just remembered. Man, I think all of that creativity has tired me out. What a terrible run. Alright, this one's easy. Look at that little funny, not really a me. Sylvie says, can you do all of the games you made like this? Are you asking if it's possible, as in, does the game allow you to? Or are you asking if I can? What a tune. Wait, Sylvie, you can't say yes. My question was multiple choice. Welcome back, Not Freddy. Oh, so yes, the game does allow you to play all of your games in sequence, and I'm happy to end with that. I forgot you meant to tap around the edge there. Elite says 9V should have a game where you have to quickly swap discs. There we go. It took me ages to realize what I was meant to be doing there. That would have been easier on a touchscreen. Come on, that was right on the edge. Am I down to 1 life again already? Jump, man. I think Donkey Kong Country is very cool. I was never a fan back in the day. I mean, Aquatic Ambience is one of the best video game songs ever made. I don't think the artwork has held up. But I think it's a really fascinating... it's a really fascinating technique that was used and looked very realistic back in the day. I did even worse that time. Alright, let's finish up with our games. So this is a collection of our DIY games that we made back in the original WarioWare series. Oh, including our most recent one! What a nice way to start the final compilation. This is not even a game. This is just clicking OK. It's such a lazy game. That was the first WarioWare game I ever made. Still proud of that one, honestly. You defeated the enemy. Applied says the reason why is that the NES needs 9V of power to work. So 9V is all about the 8-bit games. Ooh, I almost didn't do that. Didn't do that. Oh my goodness, I am definitely... Yeah. Tighter than I realized. Chalupa Joe says, oh, you're still live? Yeah, we're just wrapping up now with one last playthrough of some of our creations. Forgotten Sponge. No Picross today, Horror Flicks. As I mentioned, I've got to get up very early in the morning tomorrow for something, so... I'll be wrapping up here for today. Did that. Oh, I almost missed it. Go for at least 32 points, says Plied. I'll try my best. There you go, there's the nose reference. Odd Ollie says, one thing I learned from this stream is the origin of the dehydrated emote. Yes! Elite Octo is Picross over the lack of Picross stream. Apologies, Elite. We'll have one soon, though. Snotty Nose, Angry Mouth. Perfect. There you go, one for you DSA fans. Yeah, agreed, Chalupa Joe. That track is a bop. I know exactly which one you're referring to. Oh no! Okay, there we go. Just boring stuff, Curb. Although, I'd completely forgotten. I should have... Mario! I should have, new internet by tomorrow evening as well. It was time to change internet provider, and it should be a speed boost over what I currently have. Cornbread said, did you make this or... Yeah, all of these were made by myself and by chat. Some of them are modified from existing games. Some of them are completely new creations. Otterly says, does that mean less buffering? Yes, definitely. There's the UFO I made. I love that one. Good old Lario. Oh man, I think we did a great job on the Oh, it's the same face again. I think we did a great job on the Cheese Feast game. Elite says Eminem. There was like a whole backstory. I can't even remember right now. It was Wem and Wem because, or something like that, because the M's upside down. I can't really remember. It's so long ago now. Oh, I keep messing that one up. Stunker! Yeah! Daigo, we're just about to wrap up. As soon as I lose these 2 lives. This is such a weird game, as in that micro game. Oh no! Okay, one last life. Oh, Daigo says, can I see how the comic turned out? You'll have to... Oh no, what? Okay, seeing as I failed that earlier than I was anticipating. High score, by the way. We'll look at the comic and then we'll call it a day. So just as I'm bringing this up, I'll say for everybody watching, of course we have GBG Community Creations next. That will be tomorrow at the usual time. Here we go. Here's the comic we made together today. Tragic Past. Hat launcher. Doing. There we go. Alright folks, thank you so much for joining me for our return to WarioWare DIY. If you're still watching, what I would say is there are like probably, I don't know, off the top of my head, like 30 WarioWare DIY streams. So if you're ever hungry for more Video Dojo, for more WarioWare DIY, you can go back and watch through those and see the origins of all of these characters. There's hours and hours of WarioWare DIY on this channel, so I would really recommend heading back through the archives. Curb says, wow, that was so fun. Please make more. Yes, I would like to do this on a more regular occasion. So maybe we can kind of slot this into our schedule. I mean, one thing I do want is to keep it kind of fresh. I don't want to necessarily have the same things every week, but I would love to play more DIY because I really adore this game. Coming says, I missed the rest of the stream. No worries, you can always catch up after the fact. Bori, thank you very much for hanging out, and thank you everybody for spending some time with me, making some games with me. Alright, that's gonna do us for today. Everybody stay safe, stay hydrated. Hope you can have a nice restful rest of the day, wherever you are. Country Ball says, I'm kind of surprised a 2008 game is so good. Hey, some games are timeless. Thank you, Ramona. Great to have you with us. See you, Daigo. Bye, Horrorflix. Alright, everyone. Bye-bye.